Yes, ma'am. Gayatri, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, ma'am. Namaste, friends and masters. Welcome to Oneness Meditation Katha's wisdom sharing sessions. Today we have a special guest to share her energies and wisdom with us. Gayatri K. Gayatri K is staying in Bangalore, India, along with her family, has a lovely daughter. She has been regularly practicing meditation since 3 years, a lead tech writer by profession, and has 14 years of experience across various fields, including IT, teaching, and managing a manufacturing concern. She is a constant learner and refines herself by acquiring wisdom from spiritual books, participating in book clubs, listen to wisdom sessions, and through self-reflection, and tries her best to implement the same in her daily life. Her hobbies are listening to music, practicing dance, and reading books. She also has an interest in classical dance forms like Bharatanatyam and Kathak. Let us welcome Gayatri ma'am to Oneness Meditation Qatar. Very warm welcome to you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ramya ma'am, for the warm welcome and the introduction. I'm very glad to be here on this platform. Um,
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Go on, ma'am.
yeah, so do we start with the meditation?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, friends, let's start with meditation. Please close your eyes. Anybody wearing spectacles can remove the spectacles. Close your eyes, clasp your fingers, into fingers, cross your feet. Watch your breath. Watch the gentle, soft breath. Watch the natural flow of breath, the in breath and the out breath. Just be with your breath. Just relax your body. If you notice any tension in any part of your body, just relax. Right from the top of your head, relax. Relax your face. Relax your jaws. Relax your mouth. Relax your neck. Relax your shoulders, hands, back. Chest, abdomen. Relax your thighs, knees, legs, feet. Completely relax. Just be with your breath. Just visualize a golden light falling from above, falling over your head. And just flowing through your body. You're completely surrounded by the golden light. Feel the flow of the gentle golden light, soothing, soft, golden. You're completely immersed. From your head to toe, in the soothing, healing, golden rays of light. Feel the healing energy of the golden light. Now the golden light is passing through your feet and entering Mother Earth. It is going inside the ground to the core of Mother Earth. From there, pink energies of Mother Earth is getting back. Pink energies are entering your feet. The unconditional love of Mother Earth. Entering your feet, up your shin calf muscles, your knees, thighs. flowing about your abdomen, coming back. It's coming to the heart chakra, coming to the heart center. Feel the soft, silky, pink energies. You're completely immersed in that pink energies. From your heart center, just expand those pink energies to all the beings in this world. Just imagine the light, the energies expanding around you wherever you're sitting. Then expands as big as the room you're in. Expanding as big as your home, the building you stay, the street you stay, the locality you stay, your district, state, expanding to the entire country, expanding to the entire globe, whole of the Mother Earth is dancing in the pink glowing energies that you send from your heart center. The energies are going beyond, nurturing every being on Mother Earth, all the mineral kingdom, plant kingdom, animal kingdom, human kingdom, and beyond. Slowly see the energies surrounding the earth, then your country, your state, the district, the locality you stay, the street where you stay, the building, your home, the room where you're sitting. It's filled with pink energy. The unconditional love of Mother Earth. Now you feel the pink energies around you, and at your heart center, be with that energy always. Just come back to your breath. Your in-breath, the natural flow of your in-breath and your out-breath. Feel your feet, feel your hands. One more minute, masters. Just be with your breath. When you want to come out of the meditation, gently rub your hands Keep it on your beautiful eyes. Gently open your eyes with a beautiful smile. Can I start now?
Yes, ma'am, yes.
Yeah. So today, friends, we are going to learn about the wisdom from the book, 4 Agreements. This book was authored by Don Miguel Rios. And before starting it, I would like to tell a quote from Bhagavad Gita from Lord Krishna. You are what you believe in. You become what you believe you can become. Then another quote. Watch your thoughts, they become words. Watch your words, they become actions. Watch your actions, they become habit. Watch your habits, they become character. Watch your character, it becomes your destiny. Before moving further, I would like to send my salutations, my humble pranams to Pitama, Patriji, and Dr. G.K. sir. And as this quote goes, you've always heard Pitama telling, Yad bhavam tad bhavati. What you think it becomes. Yat matihi tad gatihi. How we think our destiny also becomes like that. So what we think is so crucial. So this book is a guide to free ourselves from the sadness, agony, and the despair that we have created for ourselves, because we create our own reality and how one should conduct their lives. So moving on. So this is called Toltec wisdom. So who are these Toltecs? Toltecs is a community, very close-knit community from southern Mexico. Okay, these people, maybe the archaeologists, scientists may say this is a race or a community, but they're just a group of people who were scientists and artists who conserved the spiritual knowledge and practices. They had their own society and they used to pass that wisdom from generation to generation. And the masters in those society were called Nirguls. They were the one who could make a difference to the knowledge of any ordinary person and paving the way of them to understand how to become free, how to get that personal freedom, not getting bogged down with our own limited belief system, coming out of the cages that we have created for ourselves, how to get that personal freedom. So long back, there used to be a place called Teotihuacan. That was the ancient city of pyramids. So we can connect it so much, all the pyramid masters. That was a city outside Mexico in the olden days. And it was always said that this is a place where a man becomes God. How can a man become God? And realize that we are the divine spark of the source and finding our own inner selves through awareness, through spiritual practices, man becomes God. So this book was authored by Don Miguel Rios. He belonged to a group called lineage called Eagle Knight, and he was the master there, one of the masters. So the Toltec wisdom essentially believes in the unity of truth, It honors all the spiritual knowledge, all the spiritual masters in the world. It embraces spirit. Their knowledge is nothing but the way of life. It embraces how to live happily and joyously and with love and in harmony. So let's see more about. So this knowledge which was passed, it stayed within the community of Toltec people, because long time back when there was a European conquest uh, near Mexico, and there were a lot of people like apprentices who came to learn the knowledge. So the Toltec people worried, they concealed the knowledge so that it is not misused. People used it for their personal gain, to gain power over others, or misused it for their own personal gain. So this was concealed, and only it was there within the Toltec community, passing from one generation to the other generation. So here, coming back to our author, Don Mughal, he was also one of the Toltec person. He was born into a family of healers, and his mother was a healer. His grandfather was a Mughal person. He was a master in the Toltec community, but he embraced the urban life, and he ventured into attending a medical school to become a surgeon. Suddenly, in his life, in the late 1970s, he comes across a near death experience. He is driving with his friends in a car, and on the wheel, he falls asleep. He falls asleep, and suddenly he wakes up and tries to drag his friends out of the car. And then he realizes it's not in his body, something happened. He tries to recollect, try to apply his logical mind. Then something changes in him, something changes in him. He's not the same person. He goes through self inquiry and keeps inquiring, what is it? What was happening? Why it happened? What did I see? How to find out? Then he gets back to the ancestral wisdom running through his family and his community. He learns so much of Toltec wisdom from his mother. By the time his grandfather would have passed to the other world, his grandfather still guides him in his dreams, continued to teach him, send him messages and guidance through his dreams. Then he took an apprenticeship with a very powerful shaman there in Mexico. So he was an eagle from the Eagle Knight lineage. He dedicated his life to sharing the wisdom of the ancient Toltec. So when he was spreading all this knowledge, then he wanted to publish, he wanted this knowledge to go to each and every person, every other spiritual seeker, try to understand the pearls of wisdom present among the Toltec people. Then there was another person, Janet Mills. She co-authored all the Toltec wisdom series of books. And she is also the publisher. So they got out beautiful collection of Toltec wisdom series books. And now this is one of the books for the 4 agreements. So what happened? Some 3,000 years ago, there's a story, you can all gently sit down, relax, and listen to the story. And 3,000 years ago, a man studying to become a medicine man, he had a dream. He was sleeping in his cave in the dark. Outside, there were stars shining outside. He was sleeping in the cave. Suddenly, he had a dream. Then he just thought, what happened to me? I saw something. He came out of his cave. He looked around, and he heard a voice coming from within him. He heard a voice in his head. It said, I am made of light. I am made of stars. And he looked around the cave, the mountains around, the mist, the stars, the trees, the plants, the animals. the dog around. He said, everything is made of light. And that light is alive. And that light is the messenger of life. And the whole thing, whatever exists, is just one large living being. And we are tiny, tiny parts of it. We all coexist in a big, large organism. And we are part of that. And he called the stars tonal. And he said, whatever the tonal is made of, that light, even I am made of that. Everyone around me is made of that. And he looked around and he saw himself in the mountain, the tree, the flowers, the soil, the plants, the herbs, the animals, the water in the pond. He saw himself everywhere. So he said that time the light between the stars which is passing, that is nature, that is the master who guides. So everything is so harmonious, and whatever created that harmony is life and that indent itself. So he said everything in existence is a manifestation of the one living being we call God. Everything is God. Everything is the same. So, and then he sees, okay, why? Then he's so happy, so happy. He wants to tell this to all his people. He goes and asks them, can you see? I want to tell so many things. He starts explaining what he felt, what he understood. Nobody was able to understand him, but they could feel there is some change in him. He's changed person. There is change in him. He couldn't explain. He was able to see himself in them, but they were not able to. So he just thought, okay, all of us are like mirrors. And there is a smoke in between the mirror. There's a fog. That's why we are not able to see each other. So that is like a smoky mirror, and we are all mirrors. Because of the smoke, because of the fog, we are not able to see each other and see that we are all one and the same. We are not able to see because of the smoke. Because he says everybody is dreaming. Everybody is in a state of dreaming all the time. It is not the sleep-wake time. It is not the day and night time. It says everybody is dreaming, and all the time they are dreaming. It says, world of illusion, dream, doesn't allow us to see the real us. What is our real us? We are pure joy, pure love, and pure harmony. This realization changed his life. And he looked around, and wherever he saw himself. It was no different. He saw himself in every tree, water, rain, clouds. And he saw how the tonal and the nacal in different ways are mixed to create billions of manifestations of life. That is only light and the distance between life. That is all it is. And how creation is created in different ways of manifestation. So he says to all his people, I am God, but you are also God. We are the same. You and I, we are images of light. We are just light. We are just light beings. We are God. He could see everyone, but because of the smoky mirror, none of the others around him were not able to see this. They were still in the illusion. They were still in the dream. So now we're coming to why the smoke is there. What happened? And why the Toltec wisdom says we are all dreaming. So let's see. So the Toltec wisdom says we are all dreaming. Like I said earlier, We're all dreaming all the time, not awake, not aware. And there is a dream, there's a personal dream. Personally, everybody is in a dream state. There's a community dream, there's a nation dream, there's a universal dream. So everything is in a kind of a dream state, that illusion called Maya. So, what created the smoke? Let's go ahead and look. So, what used to happen when we were children? We had a lot of attention. All of us have attention, isn't it? By using our attention, we use it as focus to learn something new. And by repetition of that, whatever we learned, that we are able to store that whatever we learned, isn't it? That is how the human mechanism works. So by giving our attention, we learned a lot of things from the people around us, from our immediate family, from our friends, from our neighbors, from school, college, from workplace. We learned a lot of things, how we should behave in society, what we should believe, what we should not believe, what is acceptable, what is not acceptable, good, bad, ugly, beautiful, right, this is right, that is wrong. No, 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 this is not the way to do it. That is the way to do it. No, that is not the way to do it. So this was already there. We didn't invent it. When we came, it was already there. All the rules and concepts were already there in the world. So what happens when we are children, we learn. Children are so, when children are there, the family should be always very, very cautious. They are like sponge. We are like sponge when we are children, and we absorb everything which is there around us, whatever it is. So how a child, they know, okay, if I'm attentive, if I am seeking attention, I'll get that attention. So that attentiveness becomes a competitiveness. How in the same family, how siblings fight for the attention of, they'll have a little tug of war, like sibling rivalry, to get the attention of their parents. Or you should have seen a lot of small children pulling their mother's arms. Look here, listen to me. They will not allow anybody else, adults, anybody comes, all of them have to listen to only the small kids, because they seek attention. Because they think, if I'm getting attention, I feel good. So that is the way they're conditioned. So they become so competitive. So there are so many different kinds of people, everybody having their perceptions, viewpoints, belief. What is true for me becomes my belief. What is true for you becomes your belief. And that is the same case for each one of us, isn't it? We keep on doing something, it becomes a habit, then that becomes a thinking pattern, isn't it? Then that becomes an addictive thought, then that becomes a belief, good or bad, whatever it is. The language doesn't pay any importance here. It's just the thoughts that we are having, collection of thoughts. So here, when he says, we learn what is agreement. You would have heard agreement in many different ways. What is an agreement? Any contract. We've heard in our day-to-day life, agreement, rent agreement, work agreement, right? It's what is an agreement? Like one or two people or an organization, something is put on paper, rules are put on paper and say, okay, we agree by this and this, and they put the signature, okay, this is the agreement, and this is governed by law. Something goes wrong with that, that can be legally challenged, isn't it? That is what agreement is there in our world. So what is agreement? So here, agreement is, when I said that what I believe is true for me, say if I think, okay, blue is an unlucky color for me, and I start thinking it so many times, it becomes ingrained in me as a belief, and I start manifesting something will happen untoward or unfavorable, not bad, because I wore blue, because it is ingrained in my belief. So that I made an agreement with myself that blue is not good for me, or some other color is good for me. I just have made an agreement with myself about that color. So from the morning, the time we wake up until the time we sleep, we already have so many agreement which we have got from into our life, from our childhood, from our growing up years to till this day, this moment, or this morning, or whatever this day, whatever happened. We were making so many agreements. So every word, every letter in whichever language is an agreement. Is that what the author says? So here, surrendering to that belief without evaluating it. Is it true for me now? Without evaluating, that becomes the domestication of humans, domestication of the planet. So we have likes and dislikes. We have likes and dislikes about ourselves. We judge ourselves. We have likes and dislikes about others. We judge others. And there is always, we are so used, like, from school, something happens, okay, the teacher will put a star, okay, you're a good boy, you're a good girl. We want that, we seek that reward, we feel nice, isn't it? We seek that attention, we seek that appreciation. And anything goes against it, we think it is a punishment, somebody is ignoring us, somebody is not paying attention to us. So we don't want that. We want to be a people pleaser. We want to please others. We don't know whether we want it or not, but we want to do because everybody else is doing it. Because we are afraid of being rejected. We want that everybody approves of us, accepts us, and we are ready to do to please others. Than being our authentic self, we pretend it's okay, I want that attention. It's okay. Many times until we become self-aware, we don't even realize we're pretending. We're just pretending like our friends in school, college, or at our workplace. We're just doing what they are doing, what is expected. Do you really want that? When we become aware, then we start thinking, we slow down. Is it all this is it what I want? Is it my nature? Are these my principles? So we do something, and when we fall short of it, we self-penalize ourselves. What do we do? Okay, I did something wrong, which I couldn't get that, Okay, I think it's good that I skipped my lunch today. Serves good for me. We self-penalize, punish ourselves because we think that we deserve that punishment because we didn't stand up for something, or something we said we are doing, we are not able to do, or we are own assumptions, we live in that, we punish ourselves, we reward ourselves, we are doing auto domestication of ourselves. Forget about the planet, ourselves, we are doing it on ourselves. So we always think, okay, we should never be in that victim. We see, okay, we self-judge ourselves most of the times. Oh, this dress doesn't look good on me. Oh, if I wear this, I don't know what people will say. Oh, I know last time that person was my colleague. She said this color doesn't go with my skin tone. And then even though we know this particular dress looks very nice on us, we don't go with it. We think about what others are thinking, what they will think, what comments they will pass, what looks they will give. We keep going through this guilt, shame trip all the time, being our own judge, being our own victim. We're self domesticating ourselves. So how does it stop? How do we come out of that? It takes immense courage to break anything, because we are so used to be in our comfort zone. We don't want to come out of the comfort zone because it is hard work coming out of the comfort zone, isn't it? All the inventions of this world have happened in the discomfort zone. There no breakthroughs happen staying in the comfort zone. We have to step out of the comfort zone. Then only you see breakthroughs, miracles, successes. So when we break out of the shackles that is holding us back, all the guilt, the shame, the regret, fear, all of us live in some kind of fear, isn't it? Fear of rejection, fear of non-approval, fear of ignoring. We all live in that fear and resentment that someone did or didn't do what we expected, and carrying that inner anger within ourselves about that person. That person might know or might not know, but we have certain expectations. We project that expectations on others and live in resentment, that anger. It's just like we are carrying a poison inside us and think that something will happen to the other person, but we have that poison inside ourselves. So what is going to happen to us? Imagine having that revenge, trying to justify, no, that person did, I didn't feel good, he insulted me, so now it serves right for them. So self-justifying. So it's all people's thoughts, perception, different perception, different belief system, their own notions about life. This is right, this is wrong. It's all become like, that was the total Toltec wisdom says. This is all what he says. Everything is in a dream state all the time. It is a dream of hell, because it is a society dream, personal dream, universal dream, and a planet dream affecting the collective consciousness. All of us having the same kind of dreams, same kind of pattern of dreams, different dreams, different flavors. It is all part of the collective conscious. Now, how to find out the truth? Isn't it? When we become aware of the truth, we are that time making baby step towards breaking this habit. So we have a wonderful tool with us. What is that? Our mind, our attention. So when we are children, people around us, take our attention, because we have tremendous focus capability because of our attention. And we are born with the capacity to learn how to dream, and the humans who live before us teach us how to dream the way society dreams. The outside dream has many rules that when a new human is born, we hook the child's attention and introduce these rules into his or her mind. The outside dream uses mom and dad, the schools, the religion to teach us how to dream. So we're just getting, because as child, like I said earlier, just like sponge, whatever is there, the family, whatever is happening in the family or in the community, school, we just learn it because that is what we see around us, isn't it? It is quite natural. So that attention, repeatedly, people telling the same thing again and again to us. Okay, if you do this, you are a good girl. Oh, you didn't do this, bad girl. Keeping on telling repeatedly. By repetition, that becomes an agreement inside of us. Oh, some teacher would have said in school, for example, I'm just taking, oh, it's, struggle so much with math. When you go to college, don't take math, okay? You will do good if you take some other subject. Teacher is just telling an opinion, but the child will take it to heart, and that child makes an agreement. Okay, I'm not good in maths. I will not take this. Maybe in a couple of years, maybe the child is better in maths, but that agreement the child has made with himself or herself, no, I will not be good in maths, becomes a belief system. And how much ever until they break that old agreement and create a new agreement for themselves, they are not able to forge ahead. It just becomes like a brain fog or mental fog. They're not able to see beyond that. That's just covers their perception. There is no clarity to that perception. So we keep recording all the stories told to us, behaviors, beliefs, everything around us. So here in Toltec wisdom, there is a term called mitote. What is mitote? Mitote is an illusion, a maya, like a fog, where 1,000 voices are talking at the same time. So is there any clarity? There's so much of confusion. There's so much of chaos. That is mitote. So here the author talks about different kinds of fear. The biggest fear, he says, that we are so fearful to be ourselves, to express what we really are. Just being ourselves is the biggest fear we have, because we don't know what the neighbor will think of me, what my friend will say. Oh, you don't look good, isn't it? So many perceptions. So the author says here we should take that risk, like have that courage to be yourself and be that like alive, have that light, because we are made of light. Light is aliveness. So, and the biggest fear we have is not being accepted, like I said earlier. So, what we do first, we don't accept ourselves. When we don't accept ourselves, there is no self acceptance, no self approval. Where is the point in accepting anybody else out of yourself? First, when we accept ourselves as whole and soul, as the way we are, I would like to quote this in inverted commas, to accept ourselves as is with our flaws and strengths, because we are a masterpiece in making. We should not reject, okay, I am not good in this. Reject some part of yourself. You're not accepting yourself as a whole. There's so much of self rejection. Self criticism is just missing the mark. Don't need anybody outside of you to put you down, to make you feel low. Just shatter the spirit that exists in each one of us. Keep on thinking, criticizing, I cannot do this, I cannot do that, I'm not good enough. It's like we can be the best or the worst person we can be with ourselves, because we are things from the time from your childhood, we are with yourself. Maybe you remember from the age of 3 or 4. You are one constant person that you are with yourself. That is true for each one of us. We are there from the time we remember our childhood till today. We are there with ourselves. And having an attitude of always sabotaging ourselves with negative feelings, hurt, not loving yourself, and always seeking outside of you for others' approval, acceptance, love. Your own inner spirit is yearning for your own love, which is you're not pouring inside yourself, you're not turning inwards and saying what it is. So that's why I said oneself is the person who can be best or worst for ourselves. Nobody else cannot be the worst or best. Because if I am the worst person, that I can stay with myself, no matter how I'm surrounded with the best of people, I'll not still be the joyous, peaceful person, isn't it? Because I cannot love anyone or accept anyone from an empty cup. First, my cup has to be filled. So we have to it's so easy. It's so very, very easy. Okay, I'll forgive the other person. Maybe then we say, oh, forgetting is so difficult. Then over a period of time, we say, okay, I can forgive and forget. But are we forgiving ourselves? We can forgive the entire world, can forgive anybody in the family, our friends, family, extended family. We can forgive so many people. We have a big heart. Do we look inside and say, have you forgiven you? We have so much of hatred against ourselves. We dislike ourselves so much. Do we forgive ourselves? Do we accept the person that we are inside as is? So we should love ourselves. How to break out of that? This all reminds me of the wonderful book written by Louis Hay, You Can Heal Your Life. You can take a look. I'm sure many of you have already read it. They're beautiful mirror exercises. Louis has helped herself and so many thousands of her clients to understand the knowledge, the clarity and the awareness of self-love, self-acceptance, self-approval. When our cup is not filled, we just giving from an empty cup. And we can never be in that state of joy and peace and harmony because it is from inside. The person you are is the person who we are from inside, isn't it? So here, what should we do? Now all this dream is there, how to create a new dream. So whatever energies we have is all love based or fear based. We have these two extremes. Our energy is constantly shifting on a daily basis. Either it is harmonious, little harmonious, and fear, completely fearful. So when we keep on creating our personal agreements with ourselves, doesn't matter we're creating somebody else, we do create with every person around us, anywhere, neighborhood, family, workplace, everywhere we are creating agreements. But how many agreements we create with ourselves? So we lose our power there. We lose our personal power. We lose, just a moment, masters. Ramya ma'am, Sindhuja ma'am, let me know when I should stop because I can't make out. How much time do we have, ma'am?
Ma'am, no
Already
issues,
we
ma'am.
have passed the time, ma'am.
Can I
It's
stop then?
5. Yeah, okay, ma'am. You will continue next week, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
I will
okay.
continue next week.
Okay, ma'am. Then. Yeah.
Okay. How much time is left, ma'am? 10 minutes?
Yes, ma'am.
No, ma'am. It's already done. Actually, it's
Done.
5.
Okay. Okay. Fine. Fine.
But we started session little late, no?
Late. Yeah.
Yeah.
So should I continue or how is it?
You can continue next week, ma'am. No.
Okay. Fine. 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 Thank you all, masters. We'll continue the session and we'll go ahead next learning about the 4 agreements. Next week we can continue. So thank you all for listening to me patiently. If you want to share any of your experiences, or if you want to talk,